Hey, so with playoffs starting really early, it is time to kind of have a look at the bracket and see what can we expect. So, Heroic Liquid, Fnatic Ends, Entropic Astralis, and FaZe and Gambit, which I personally hate to see so early, because these are my main two teams that I support, and I was hoping they would be different sides of the bracket, but it is what it is, and I hate myself now. But let's start with the first game, Heroic Liquid. Most likely, what we're gonna see is 2-0. Heroic most likely gonna be 2-0. What's the map pool right now? Dust 2 for Liquid. The Heroic just bans. Mirage, that's most likely a decider. And just like Heroic, they simply have way too big of a map pool to play against Liquid. And the way Liquid were playing, well, obviously Gambit showed that Liquid aren't ready. They need to improve many things before they can actually think of reaching like semifinals or even the quarters. So I would say it's going to be 2-0. I don't really see on which of these maps Liquid can beat Heroic. I would say it's going to be easy 2-0. Liquid most likely going to get like 10 rounds max per map. So can't say anything about this one. So let's go for the next one. Fnatic ends. Well, let's go to map page. Current Fnatic, with all these problems that they have, just added Brolin. Still have to play with the Pepsi this tournament, so I don't expect anything from Fnatic. And ends, I'm impressed the way they played. And as I was saying on my previous videos, they kind of my dark horse for this event, and I believe they can go all the way to the final. So I would call probably 2-0 as well for ends. And the previous history, yeah, it just shows that ends are dominant. Most likely, what maps we can see over there. Nuke, well, ends kind of dominate in map pool as well. The only thing is Inferno, which ends haven't really played yet. But in general, that one should be 2-0 as well. Then the third game, Entropic against Astralis. This one is interesting, right? Because Astralis, I've seen a lot of potential in their games. I'm surprised how they choked against Danish boys, but instead of closing at 2-0, they kind of choked up that 1v3 when there was a map point and match point. Losing like that kind of broke them and they couldn't recover. The Navi game, they also could have won the Navi game, and again, there is something missing. Maybe they just need a bit more time, maybe like another one or two events, but this game looks like 50-50. If Entropic Boys prepared, if Lucky doesn't lack, if Alien actually shows up and performs, then this one's probably 2-1. And I can't really say who's gonna win 2-1 because they both are decent. They both have their strong sides. So I would still give a little bit more chances, like 55 against 45 for Astralis. However, I'm not going to be surprised if I see Entropic gain out on top in this one. FaZe against Gambit. Oh, this is painful. Look, the only reason why I'm gonna go for my prediction is that FaZe right now climbed to the second spot in rankings. And the way Gambit were playing in the group against Movistar, it didn't really give me that much confidence on how how perspec- how from that perspective point they're gonna look in the playoffs. Right now, it looks like they are just practicing, they're just doing whatever they have to do, but I'm pretty sure they had not enough tier 1 practice to challenge phase in this one. So I would say it's still going to be most likely 2-1. Most likely 2-1 against Gambit. So I will go with phase for this one. Then what we're gonna see over here, NIP against Heroic. Well, NIP with Brolin, I think they're still gonna have Fuzi, right? So this one's gonna be tough. I'm not gonna be surprised to see Res overperforming and Hampus carrying against Heroic. So in my opinion, this one's gonna be 2-1 for most likely Heroic, because NIP they're most likely practicing with Brolin right now. And as I was saying earlier, Fnatic they don't really see like a proper team right now. I I can't see them beating anyone over here. So NIP and Heroic, I will still go for Heroic. Most likely they're gonna go through to the semifinals. On this side, ends against Movistar. Movistar played great, but in this case, I'm still gonna go for Ents because Ents have way more firepower, they're more flexible, and they have quite a better map pool than Movistar. Movistar got really lucky when they were playing against players, and having Party Astronauts, Godsend, and Liquid is just it's just not a proper competition over there. The only one they had was players when players actually didn't have much practice, and yes, they beat them, but it was a very shaky game, and they got really, really lucky in many scenarios. Then over here, Furia against Astralis or Entropic. As I said, I still believe Astralis have a slightly better chance to go through, and if Astralis go through, I believe Astralis is gonna beat Furia just based on the experience. That land buff is real, and this is where you're gonna play in, right? FaZe against Navi, as I said earlier, FaZe just climbed to the second spot, and now is the time. If FaZe wins this tournament, I'm pretty sure in world rankings they're gonna jump to the first spot. And Navi played really well, but Astralis choked hard against them. Heroic didn't show up, and Go, Complexity, and EG. It was just a bunch of globals playing against Silver. So nothing much to say. I don't really know how prepared are they for the actual challenge. And in this game, FaZe most likely gonna beat them. So I will go 2-1 for FaZe. So then we're gonna have Heroic against Ents and Astralis against FaZe, most likely. So Heroic against Ents. It's gonna be a really, really tough game, probably with all three maps, and most likely at least two of them gonna go to OTs. At least two of them, maybe even all three. And in that case, I think that Ents gonna go to the finals because I'll be honest, current Heroic, they're a really good squad, but they lacking something. I don't know what they have to do to actually start being a real contender for the trophies. Then on this side, it's gonna be Astralis and FaZe. And FaZe, if they see Astralis, they're just gonna demolish them. FaZe have way too much firepower for Astralis to handle. We've seen how Astralis played against Navi, and FaZe have more firepower than that. So I believe it's gonna be FaZe against Ents in the final, but I won't be surprised to see Furia surprising me if Entropic beats Astralis. If Entropic beats Astralis, Fury are most likely going to end up in semifinal. And if Fury are going to face FaZe in semifinal, it's going to be a tough one. And in this case, Fury, because they play in such a challenging style, which kind of suits the FaZe. So it's going to be a really interesting game if it's going to be FaZe against Fury. I won't be surprised if it's actually going to happen. So, but still, FaZe going to come on top of that one. And in the final, ENCE against FaZe. I think that's another LAN trophy for FaZe Clan. So with that said, that's my team. I'm going for Brokey and Robs because I believe they're gonna carry. They're gonna carry hard. Then I'm picking Davi G because it's extra 6 points. Then against ENCE, this is one of those games where they most likely gonna have quite interesting maps, in which ones Davi G can actually get some points, and he might end up even adding the points. He's not going to be negative. And in that game, I'll be using the Bitskins bonus on them, so no matter what, I'll reduce my risks on losing the points in this. Then, because I said that I believe in ENCE going to the finals, Maiden, he's a really good entry fragger, and if we see who's they're gonna face, he's gonna get a lot of entry frags if they go all the way. Even against FaZe, well, against FaZe, that's the only actual game where he might be kind of losing on the bonus, but still, if we consider Fnatic, plenty of openings. Movistar, plenty of openings. Over here is going to be Heroic. Against Heroic, also plenty of openings. And then Hades, as I said again, right? ENCE, they have advantage in this bracket because majority of their rounds gonna be kind of taken on the CT side, and exactly for this reason, I'm taking a defender. Defender Opa, great. Nothing else to say. So that's kind of it. That's my team, and good luck. Have fun. Ball games, and yeah, stay safe.